Hi everybody, my name is Maisha McCullers and I live in Victorville, California. I chose to do the Victor Valley Union High School district for my board meeting assignment. There are two districts within Victorville. There is the Victor Valley Elementary School District, and there is also the Victor Valley Union High School District, which deals typically with 7th through 12th grade. In the Victor Valley Union High School District, there is just about 10,000 students, maybe a little bit over, and the students are split between 8 different campuses. Again, they serve between the grades of 7th and 12th grade, and this is split between 2 cities, Victorville and Adelanto, California. The schools include Victor Valley High School, Silverado High School, Adelanto High School, Goodwill Education Center, Hook Junior High, University Preparatory, Lakeview Leadership Academy, and Cobalt Institute of Math and Science. The board consists of 5 members. The president's name is Jose, affectionately known as Joe Barrios. And the board members are Barbara Dew, Penny Edmonston, Joshua Garcia, and Timothy Hawk. The board meetings are held at the district board office in Victorville, and they hold the meetings every first and third Thursday of each month, except for the month of July, where they only hold one meeting. I'm assuming this is because this is the only month that school is not in session. They only hold one meeting. The one that was scheduled for July 18th of this year was actually canceled, so there was no meeting in the month of July. Outside of that, they do meet twice a month on the first and third Thursday. The sessions typically last 2 hours from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. The first session, which is from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., the meeting is closed to the public, and then they open the meeting to the public from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. I attended on October 24th, and it was from 6 to around, I want to say about 7:45 p.m. It did go a little bit longer. Some of the public discussions that was held there went a little longer than they anticipated, so the meeting was about 45 minutes longer than normal. The types of issues that are addressed at board meetings. Well, according to Chapter 7 of our textbook, Intro to Teaching and Becoming a Professional, there are 5 main functions of the school board. The most important would be figuring out and maintaining and managing the budget for the district. This ranges from issues of the lunch program all the way to teachers' salaries. Another function of the board meeting would be the school personnel, which deals with hiring and firing of staff. A third issue is the school curriculum. Is discussed at the board meetings. They define what the curriculum should be across the board, and what the standards are for students' learning outcomes. The fourth issue discussed at the school board are student issues, things that would affect the student population, such as uniforms and extracurricular activities. And lastly, the district infrastructure is also decided and discussed at board meetings, and this includes maintaining and maintenance of the actual school, and maybe school buses and things of that nature. The general format for the meeting that I was at, it was actually pretty interesting. The board itself sat in front of the audience. So the board was faced this way, the audience was faced this way. So we were facing the board members. The superintendent was at the one end, and then the assistant superintendent sat at the other end. Right directly in the middle was the board president, and then there were the regular board members, or the board of trustees, 2 on each side of the president, and the president sat in the middle. What was a little odd to me was that the podium where people spoke at set behind the audience. So we had to physically turn around to kind of watch I'm a watcher. I like to watch people when they talk, especially when they're presenting. So we had to physically turn around in our seats to look at the people who were addressing the board. That was a little weird to me, but that's how it was set up as far as the format. The beginning of the meeting, we did the Pledge of Allegiance. They had everyone stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. After that was concluded, students from Victor Valley High School, University Prep, Silverado, and Hook Junior High School came up to speak about some of the accomplishments that the schools had over the past weeks or since the previous board meeting, and different events that they were planning before the next meeting that they were, planning to enact. After that, the president presented awards and recognitions for a few of their employees. 2 of them were teachers. 1 of them was a janitor at the school. But the president did get up to present those awards to those people. I found it interesting that I don't know, they just seem very tight-knit and like a very loving group of people. They were hugging the staff members as they gave the awards, and everyone was really excited about getting up and taking pictures with them and recognizing them for their efforts. Everyone applauded and everything. It was, I thought it was really nice that the teachers were recognized the way that they were. Next, they opened the floor for community comments from the public. These were people who signed up prior to the board meeting starting to address their concerns or questions or opinions to the board. And I'll talk a little bit more about some of the things that was talked about a little bit later on in this video. Let's see. Well, I'll talk about it now. One of the issues that a parent got up and addressed was the fact that her student had attended Lakeview Leadership Academy. I have some personal background with Lakeview Leadership Academy. A few of my children attended that school. It started out as being just 7th and 8th grade. And within the last 4 years, they've gone on to include high school. They started with adding 9th grade, and then after the 9th graders finished their freshman year, they added 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, so on. Well, apparently the first 2 years that Lakeview Leadership Academy was a high school, they did not have accreditation. So because they didn't have accreditation, when it came time for the students who were now seniors to apply, for them to apply for colleges and such, there was nowhere on the, there's a name for it. Doorway, UC Doorway. There was nowhere on the UC Doorway for them to include credits earned for their 9th and 10th grade years at Lakeview Leadership Academy. Again, because they did not have accreditation at the time when the students were 9th and 10th grade. So when it came time for them to apply, there was nowhere for them to put in their credits for those years. A parent got up and expressed her concern and frustration with it. A student got up and also expressed her dismay with the situation. She expressed how hard she had worked to maintain a 4.0 GPA the entire time, and for her to get to the end of everything and they're telling her that those credits don't count, it stopped her from applying to the colleges. It stopped her from scholarships through the colleges and things of that nature. A counselor from Victor Valley High School also got up and spoke in regards to the situation. essentially she was begging the district to include the counselors in whatever solution they were trying to come up with for this problem. She stated that they were basically a wealth of knowledge when it came to students applying to colleges. One of the solutions they were contemplating is using Victor Valley High School as the umbrella school for the students who attended Lakeview to enter the credits under Victor Valley High School, and they were working on getting that approved so that these students would not miss the deadline, which is November 30th, to apply to universities and things of that nature. So she was kind of begging them. She's like, we have all the knowledge. We are connected with UC Doorways. We are here to help the parents and the students through the entire process, because we're getting a lot of students that are coming to us frustrated, and we can't really communicate with them what the solution or the plan is going to be because the district is not including them in the decision making and solution process. So that was kind of interesting for me. Luckily for me, my son opted not to go to Victor his 9th and 10th grade year, which was the first year that they did 9th grade. He said he didn't want to go, and I sent him to Victor Valley High School. Otherwise, I would be directly affected by this because my son is a senior this year. So after the community questions and concerns to the board, next we had the director of Common Core, whose name is Christine Foote, get up and speak. She addressed the California School Dashboard and local indicators. She said that there are 7 total. However, she only addressed 5, which is required by law. Basically, the district conducts surveys within the district to ensure that the student, parent, and staff needs are being made or met. One of the priorities that they discussed, it was under the category of basics, teacher instruction, materials, and faculty. Basically, what they do is make sure that the surveys were conducted to make sure that all of the teachers' instructional materials and things of that nature were all in sync with the curriculum and other materials of other teachers around the school and around the district. They did meet that requirement this particular time. Their numbers are constantly moving up, they see. Basically, the surveys were given to teachers for them to basically assess if they felt like they were in sync with everybody else and things of that nature. The second priority that she discussed was implementation of academic standards as outlined to the district. Basically, they wanted to ensure that teachers and the staff were using the appropriate textbooks and curriculum, making sure that it's being implemented as far as what the state standards say that they should be. Again, they are meeting that requirement as well, and their numbers are exceeding within the district for that. Priority 3 is parent and family engagement. Basically, this was to assess if parents feel they are welcome to participate in the school discussions and activities, and if the staff is also if the staff is welcoming the suggestions of the parents, and basically if the parents feel like they are appropriately involved in the processes and procedures and curriculum ideas and things like that within the school. The fourth priority is the local climate survey. And this is to see if the students themselves are feeling safe and how well connected they feel to the school. Again, this is done by way of surveys. And they are meeting at that one. That was the lowest one that they scored on as far as the students feeling like they are a part of and welcomed and safe within the school and the environment. The fifth priority addresses access to broad courses of study. Basically, is the school in the district accommodating all students ranging from special education to gifted students? Are the programs accommodating for special education students and gifted students and anywhere in between? And they also met that requirement as well. The next thing that was discussed on the agenda was the PBIS program. PBIS stands for Positive Behavioral Interventions and Support. Silverado High School was actually just awarded the gold medal for their aspects of their program, the PBIS program at their particular school. They work on a tier program as far as getting behavioral issues and things like that in check in their school. Tier 1 is your general students who have very limited behavioral issues and things of that nature. Tier 2 are students who may have behavioral issues within the classroom setting, not so much outside of the classroom, but maybe they're just, talking a little much in class and maybe disturbing others in class. Tier 3 are for students who need more individualized help. Again, they place all of their students in different tiers and they work with them according to their own personal level of where they are. But some of the different programs they had, there were different mentoring programs, hooking students up with kids who do not, or tier 1 students being hooked up with tier 3 students to try to help them get peer suggestions and advice on how to keep their own behaviors in check and things of that nature. Anyhow, they won an award. So at this particular board meeting, they had the representatives from Silverado High School come up and discuss their program in detail and basically to tell the other schools how they were able to win the award and how excellent their program is. Next, we heard from VVTA, which is Victor Valley Teacher Association. This report was given by Jennifer Lovelace, She spoke of different teaching seminars coming up, medical insurance issues that they were having. I did find this very interesting as well. One of the issues that Ms. Lovelace discussed was the fact that they just changed health coverage from Kaiser to Blue Shield Blue Cross. One of the teachers has really bad diabetes, and since the switch, her diabetic medication has not been covered and she's been having to pay for it out of pocket. So they're trying to figure out something. This is going to be addressed at the next board meeting. It was put on the table at this meeting. The board's going to go and discuss it and then come back with some solutions and ideas for one of the next upcoming board meetings. But that was one of the issues that I found interesting. I guess I just neglected to understand before, attending the meeting that things like this was discussed there. I never said and thought like, hey, well, who decides on health coverage, and, what happens if something's not pleasing to the, the teachers with their coverage? Who do they talk to about that? So that was kind of interesting to me as well. Next, we had a representative from the CSEA, which stands for California School Employee Association. She came up and spoke. Her name was Sabrina Mack. She talked about salary increase and retro pay, which the Victor Valley Union High School District are getting ready to get. They are receiving a 2.5% increase, which is supposed to take effect by November. And they are being retro paid back for up to a year of this 2.5% increase, and this is supposed to be paid out by the first pay period of the January 2020 year. She also mentioned that there were 2 different teachers who were currently hospitalized for personal issues, and she asked for prayer for those teachers. I found that interesting as well. I thought that was pretty cool. Again, these people seemed very close-knit and tied into each other. They were very affectionate with one another. I kind of got the feel that a lot of the same people come to the board meetings, because everybody was very familiar with everyone, even teachers that were there just to listen in from different schools. Everyone knew who everyone was, and everyone greeted each other. It was a very warm environment. Next, they talked about approving certain budget issues. This was one that I thought was kind of funny. My son attended this school, so I kind of, and I know firsthand some of the issues that they were having with this problem. Well, Adelanto High School basically asked for $58,232.14 to install new camera systems in specific areas strategically around campus. And it was supposed to help with students ditching, because these areas are highly populated ditching areas, and kids are ditching classes and hanging out in these wings of the school where there are no cameras, no one supervising. They wouldn't see the kids. My son was caught in one of those areas at one point in time and was put in on-campus suspension for ditching school. So this was one of the budgeting issues that they discussed at this meeting, and it was approved. They approved it. They motioned for it, someone seconded the motion, and they agreed that this was needed at that particular school, Adelanto High School. So that was something that they discussed. Next, there were a number of actions. Legal pupil personnel issues involving expelling certain students from the district and things of that nature. They discussed that next. Those all went pretty quickly. The general of it was they would state what the motion is, and then someone would second the motion, and then the decision was made to go ahead and implement or deny, if it came to that. But it sounded like every motion that was presented was approved. So that went well. Then lastly, the superintendent gave closing remarks. He talked about visiting Lakeview Leadership Academy and going over there and speaking to some of the counselors in regards to the issue of non-accreditation for the students who attended their 9th and 10th grade year when the school first became part of the high school district. He talked about how lovely the staff was and how pleasant the children were there when he walked through. And then from there, they closed the meeting. My general impression, I felt like the meeting was very organized and well put together. Again, I was impressed by how well connected and loving all of the board members were with each other, as well as the different teachers that were in there. Again, when they presented awards, everyone got up each time, walked from behind the podium to the side, from behind the board desk to the back where the people were being presented their awards. They were hugging each other, they were taking pictures. Everyone just seemed really close-knitted. And it seemed very genuine. Even when the community was addressing their issues, everyone just seemed so in tune to what was going on and concerned about, the different issues that was being presented, especially the accreditation thing. When the superintendent was speaking, he brought up the accreditation issue and how everyone would be diligently working towards finding a solution for that. I thought that was awesome, just how well put how everyone got along and, dealt with each other. That was basically it. I don't think I have anything else to say.